Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Yes, hello, Fannar. Yeah, my plans changed because we are gonna meet with my friends on the weekend and not tonight. There's been a change in plans. Yeah. Been a change in plans. I announced it on Discord, and so tonight I am here. Actually, I had a dinner. I had a bit of a dinner with some nice food and stuff. So for my birthday, so it was cool. And then I'm going to have some fun in the weekend. So yeah, tonight for different reasons we couldn't do it. So it's okay. It's okay. I mean, it's not my first birthday, right? So it's okay even if we do it. We do it on the weekend. It's okay. Yeah, but thank you for asking, Fan. How are you? So I just want to, well, maybe we wait a few more people before I say that, because I started a kind of a raffle on Discord and on Patreon, well, mainly on Patreon, right, for the Patreons, and I would like to explain it a bit. So I will go there in a second, but maybe we wait that a few more people join. I don't know if people will join, but you know, our stream is very it's a very small stream, so you never know. Hello everyone, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another stream of Plane Shift, where we build games, actually where we build one game, which is the name of the game is Plane Shift. You may say, why is named Plane Shift? Well, because in theory, in our world, I mean, the people that arrived into the current world arrived through portals by shifting through planes, right? So all the races that you see in Iliacum today, they come from different worlds, right? And they actually came. I said a weekend is a better option to have fun than weekdays. Yeah, exactly. So there was also early call for some tomorrow, and so it was not really. It wasn't really gonna work, right? So it's fine. It's fine. It's absolutely okay. And anyway, I have you, right? I have you tonight, so you guys out there. And so it's anyway like being with friends. Why not? Why not? So tonight I want to do something a bit different because I think we have to work on the quest for the wagons and such, but I want to start also another reasoning, and it is a very important reasoning that I have to somehow decide how to approach. So tonight it will be a lot about how do we approach this problem. So just a second, because I think there is a yeah, nothing relevant though. Okay, it's fine. So the question is, how do we define the value, right, of all the items that we have in the game? All the items. And I think we will ask ChatGPT about it because I think it may help, right? I think it may definitely help. So we will ask to ChatGPT, that's for sure. And but before speaking with ChatGPT, I think I want to do some reasoning myself, right? And I think it will include probably also some formulas and stuff. I will call it the value of everything, right? The value of everything. So the value of everything is a study, right, on how to price the items in our game, right? How to price any item. At the moment, the price of the items is very I mean, it's based on our feeling of how much it should cost, right? Except for the looted weapons, right? Because the looted weapons already have a formula that is based on the modifiers. So based on the modifiers that you have on the weapons and the rarity, so the more the modifier is rare, the more the cost of the weapon will be, right? And I think that one is probably one of the most correct rules, right? Because it's at least based on a formula, right? So there is this formula, calculates the rarity of each of the modifiers. I don't know if it's actually multiplying properly modifier 1, 2, and 3. Like if you have 3 modifiers, it's probably even more rare, right, than not. But I think the problem is, how do we organize this discussion, right? So how do we organize this? I mean, first thing that I'm asking myself is, are we speaking about items only? Or are we speaking about something else, right? So I think we are speaking about items only. I mean, we can, because loot is anyway included in items, right? So I think when we say the value of everything, I don't think, well, I mean, in theory, there is also the money that you get through quest. And the items that, well, the money that you get through quest, right? So I think it could be the value of a quest. The value of a quest. The problem is that I think that the quest, I think there are not many quests. Hello, Hula. Good evening. I don't know if you read on Discord, but I changed my plans. So I will be with my friends in the weekend and not tonight, because tonight was not possible for different reasons. And so, yeah, we will do it. We will do more things on the weekend and not tonight. So it's fine. So we have the time to stream and work on Planeshift, which is anyway for me a fun thing to do. So So I'm thinking how many quests, right? How many quests are really providing money? Are really providing money to the player? I think it's a small number. We can check that. Bah, I don't know, maybe it's a big number. I don't know where to search, I mean how to search that though, because I can search Tria, but I don't think that Tria will be... Because there may be some script that also give circles. But seems that we have some here already. Give quest money. Ah, we have... Yeah, we have a function that does that. We have a function... Where did you find Tria in here? Converted Tria and expert reward to scripts. Yeah, unfortunately it's in the description, so we are finding the description, which is not the greatest. But yeah, there is this give money. I think probably we have that version history, converted Tria. Yeah, crap. Yeah, so we search, if we search Tria, we find all the descriptions, but hopefully every quest now is using this new method, right? And the new method is to use give quest money. There is a script, give quest money, and then it says a number from 1 to 10. And it is then multiplied, I don't remember by how much, but... I remember one who give more than I forgot who. I mean, a quest that is giving more, yeah. Let me see if I search quest give money. Yeah, it's so many. It's so many quests. Oh my god, nearly all of them. Wow. Maybe not all, but I would say that is a lot. I would say that is a lot. I don't understand why it's never opening again the... Why is never opening again? I don't know. Anyway, we can open a new one. Yeah, because I wanted to save one console, right? This query console file, and be sure that we always use the same one, but it seems not to be possible. But anyway, so if I do a select count, from quest scripts, right? Where script like this. Now the only problem is that some quest scripts are, I think they have quest ID -1. Yeah, we have to exclude the quest ID -1, I guess. My friends are sending me. My friends are sending me happy birthday wishes. It's always nice. Here I'm just answering to the messages. Yeah, I have to exclude the one that have quest ID -1, right? Quest ID -1. So we should do select count from quest scripts where quest ID is different than -1, right? How many do we have? 464. Oh my god. 464. Of those 464, we have 271 that are actually giving money. Wow, 271 quest. Jesus. But anyway, 271 that are giving money. This game, boys, became a monster. This game became a monster. 1 second, I have to go to the bathroom quick and I will be back, okay? Okay, I'm back. I'm back. So basically, the question is where the value is. Where the value is. So the value is in quests giving money. right? Because in quest giving money, because that's a value, right? That's a monetary value that is expressed there. We have, let me open up the game, maybe it'll be easier to think. I mean, obviously the items, right? The sell price, and the, well, let's call it the base price, because the base price is then modified by the merchant for selling, right? So now we have the pets value. Well, you're not selling pets, so you're not buying. Well, you are buying pets. Well, you are buying pets with items at the end. So is an indirect value. I think we should have direct value and indirect value, right? Because there is some value that is not directly, but anyway we have to estimate, right? So for example, to obtain a pet, right? To obtain a pet, you have to maybe provide materials. And so the value of the pet is the sum of the materials you need to get it, right? Or the complexity, right, in finding it. There is definitely value in guild houses, right? When you buy a guild house, right? There is a value there. There is a value in the guild house price. What other values we have? The value of the glyphs. Well, I think the value of the glyphs is again an indirect value because is stuff that you get through quest. So in reality, the cost of a glyph is well, there are glyphs that you can buy, which goes under items. But there are also glyphs that you may obtain, right, from quest. I think that is true for pretty much all the items. Yes, because one is what you acquire and one is what you sell. This start to be complex. What else do we have? We have magic, we have pets, we have quest. Well, we have the training of your stats, right? Because certain stats can be trained and they have a cost. There is a direct value, right? So stats training is definitely a direct value, right? Is a direct value. Now the only thing that I'm not sure is if I want to split the money that you receive and the money that you pay. Probably yes, right? Because I think they are two different things, right? And sorry, I'm going a bit, brainstorming here. So if you have any ideas, let me know, right? What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to determine all the items in the game that have a price or that it can be sold, and what can be, how can we calculate that price properly, right? Because today that's not proper. So direct value buy. So this is something that you buy, and direct value. I mean, it's something that you buy or something that you sell, but in this case, quests are rewards, right? So it's not a. I think is huh? I don't know. What I mean is that you can buy an item, but you can also sell an item, right? And usually each item, I mean, this sell price, this base price is the same if you sell or if you buy, with a percentage that the NPC takes as a cut, right? As his own money. So I mean, you cannot sell a guild house. You cannot sell stats, right? So in reality, this buy is not really true. It is buy and sell, right? It is buy and sell. So we want, which anyway they are connected. While here is a direct value of stuff that you receive as a reward, right? And for example, the loot, right? The loot. I mean, there is the loot money, and there is the loot items. But the loot items, is very much here as well, right? But it's different, right? Because you may receive an item through looting, and you may also be able to buy it. Usually that's not the case. Usually when what you receive in looting, you cannot buy. But, I mean, it's not a strict rule. It's not a strict rule, but definitely if you can loot it, right, the base price should go down. So I'm a bit undecided on how to do this, but and loot as, you know, base items, and loot as base items, but also as the randomized items, right? The randomized special item. So randomized with modifiers, right? I call it randomized, but basically these are special items, right? Magical randomized items, which I think they should go in a separate thing. Then we have the dungeons, right? The dungeons and the chest. We have the loot chests, and we have the actual money that you get in the dungeons. Loot. There is also loot money. You can loot money separately from the like vases or jugs or that kind of stuff. So is there anything else where we spend money, or when money is involved? Well, the whole crafting, but crafting is going inside. I think we have to split this, right? Because Yeah, I think crafting items, right? So when you craft items, you are generating value, and that item you then are gonna sell. But the crafting is definitely a very complex chain, right? It's a complex chain of materials, and that will probably be the most complex to calculate, to understand based on the timing and everything, how much is the worth of the final item, right? How much is the worth of the final item? Is there something else, guys? Is there something else? I don't know this indirect value. I think indirect value, what I mean with indirect value is that but anyway, I think if you cannot sell something, is not really relevant, right? So yes, you may get a pet, but you cannot sell the pet, so it doesn't really have a monetary value. It just has the value, which is the sum of all the materials or quest or, you know, time that you need to gather the pet, right? Is there anything else, boys? Is there anything else? So in this game we loot and we have it, we craft and we have it, we do dungeons and we have it, we do quest and we have it. Well, you trade with people, but trading with people obviously is not considered a direct value, right? Because trading with someone else is not relevant. Well, you have the mini games actually. But I would say that the mini game, for example, we have fishing. Well, fishing goes a bit under items though, right? Because I mean, I can mention it here just to be sure, but fishing at the end is generating items, right? It's generating items that have a price, right? So killing monster give loot, I have it here. Loot I have money, loot based items, loot randomized items, so I have it here. Killing monsters, yes. This is monster loot, right? Monster loot. There are also separate chests. I can call it monster loot if you want, but there are also separate loot chests, right? Yeah, maybe we can call it monster loot. Okay, let's call it monster loot. And then there is chest loot, right? Chest loot, which is basically the same. So it's again money, base item, randomized item. So it's exactly the same thing, right? So I don't know if I want to create a separate chapter, because in theory they should have the same value. They should have the same value. Well, if the item is the same, we have to consider how we can obtain it, through a monster or through a chest. Yeah, I think that chest or monster. Fruit, wood, herbal. Yes, that is a good one. I think is harvesting, right? Is harvesting. Yes, I have to put it here. Harvesting. In harvesting, again, you gain items, right? With harvesting. Yeah, good one, Hula. Very good one. So we harvest, we craft, we fish, we go in dungeons, we loot, we kill monsters, we do chests, we do quest. Anything else we do? Anything else we do? Again, we trade, but I think that trading is not... the value of books? Nah, value of books, well, in a way. Fishing... I think that's probably all, no? Mining, mining, yeah, we have harvesting. Well, we can split it though. Yeah, let's split it. Let's split it. One is mining and one is harvesting, right? Correct. Mining is separate than harvest, that is separate than fishing and crafting. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, mining. There is also enchanting, right? You can enchant items. You can enchant items, but there is... oh, wait a second. There is a friend calling. I have to answer. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Okay, 1 second. But it's my birthday and people are calling in, so. Ah, so hard to finish this phone call. Yeah, it was a friend. For the one of you that don't know, today is my birthday, and so some friends are calling in, and maybe also some friends that I don't hear since some time. And like this one is one of them, and he wanted to, know everything about my life and how things are going, and and so I couldn't cut it off short, but it took what, 20 minutes? Oh my god, yeah, 20 minutes. Like 22 minutes and 14 seconds. No, that is the no, 18 minutes. 18. That was the time he called. Yeah, 18 minutes. Sorry guys. Sorry guys, but I hope you can understand that. So I'm trying to. So I think the list that we created is a good list. This list, right? So I would like to ask to ChatGPT, because I think ChatGPT has access anyway to white papers about MMO economy, right? And so I'm saying I need to define how to calculate the value of all the items in the game considering different action the player can do, as I think every item cost needs to be determined by the time or the chances needed to find the item, right? Can you look for MMO economy white papers or studies and understand what is the best way to do this? I think there are probably ton of white papers on this thing. I mean, because MMO now are alive, are existing since 20 years. So this is a great and crucial design problem for PlaneShift. Below I summarize the finding from MMO virtual economy research and industry guidance, then give you a practical implementable framework and formula you can use to compute item value from time chance to obtain, plus the other important factor, crafting cost, utility, scarcity, sinks. I cite most of the relevant papers in the History so you can dig deeper. Fantastic. Let's go, boys. Let's learn this. Quick takeaways from the research and industry. Player effort, time to acquire correlates strongly with perceived value. Exactly. That is so I think that we should convert pretty much everything to time, right? Because at the end is the time that you put and, well, obviously also the benefit that it gives you, right? But yeah, I think it's time and benefit at the end, probably. But anyway, strongly perceived value and market price. Items that take longer or are rare to obtain tend to trade for higher prices. It is supported by empirical analysis of multiple virtual worlds. Successful designer threat pricing is multi-factor. Acquisition time and chance is a key input, but must be balanced with crafting production cost, in-game utility. Okay, let's focus for a second on this phrase, because I think this phrase is very important. Acquisition time and chance is a key input, but must be balanced with crafting production cost and in-game utility. So obviously the in-game utility, so I mean, yeah, so if it takes you 2 hours to craft a sword and then that sword sucks, right? Obviously its value will be lower than another sword that you craft in 2 hours, but it's very good, right? So that I understand. But my problem is that I think that we should balance the time as well, right? To ensure that it matches the utility. So probably, so what I was thinking, but probably I was thinking wrong, right? I was thinking to have something like time and cost, right? But now that I think about it, probably it's time, cost, and utility. Let's call it utility, which basically means how good is the item in the game, right? How good is the item in the game? So I think that if we just do this, right, if we just do time equal cost, probably we are, I mean, it is already an improvement, right? Because if we say, oh, to craft this particular item, it takes you 3 days, right? I'm exaggerating, but it takes you 3 hours, right? So the cost cannot be 53, right? It's impossible. But at the same time, if it costs you, I mean, if the time is 3 hours, the cost is that, but then the utility sucks, right? Then we are. So I think the question is, do we relate time to cost or time to utility? I mean, what is is this a triangle or this is what? How do we relate? So do we start? So do we go time, utility, cost? So we decide the time. So no, sorry, based on the time needed. I think actually if you design a game from scratch, will be the opposite, right? So you start with the utility. So if this thing is useful or not, and then you decide all your items, how much useful they are, what is their power, what is their usage in the game, and such. And then based on that, probably decide how much time it takes. And then based on the time and based on the utility, you define the cost, right? So that is probably the right way, actually. Otherwise here we are doing it backward, right? I think that here we are doing it kind of backward. And also if we do it like this, I think that we are doing it kind of backward. If we do time versus cost, if you do time, right? Because I can say, oh, how much time does it take? I take any books, right? I take any crafting books, right? I take a crafting book like this one, right? I take this crafting book. This crafting book is saying to create a small battle axe, you need the battle axe kit and you need these items, right? You need a wooden axe handle, the handle shape, the baton, the whatever, all this, right? You need all this, all this thing. Oh my god, this one is not ending. Okay. Yeah, because you have to go through alpha blade, beta blade, delta blade, whatever. I don't know why the dull one is in the list. I think it should not be, but anyway. So you can say, oh, I need all these items, and every one of these steps takes that amount of time, right? Takes that amount of time. And so the cost should be X. But probably we have to do it the other way around. So we have to start from the small battle axe and say, how useful is the small battle axe in the game, right? It is a A tier, B tier, C tier, or whatever, right? So, and based on that, we may decide how much time it takes, right? But which I think is pretty much how we did it originally. If I look at the crafting files, probably it is containing that already. Like all the weapons are in tiers, but then I think that the price that we associate is probably not really calculated, right? It's not calculated well. It's not calculated well, right? And that is the problem. So acquisition time chase is key input by balanced with crafting production cost and game utility. So power and usefulness, yes, exactly. Scarcity as well. And available currency sinks. Purely basing price on time changes, on time and chances, ignore demand side effect and can break the balance. Purely basing price on time and chances. Yeah, you mean it ignores the utility. It ignores the utility. Yeah. Game teams use telemetry and iterative tuning KPI experiment to adjust values. There is no one-time correct price. Use the data, drop logs, trade, vendor sell, market listing to validate adjust your model. Yeah, this I think is something that I did already. I mean, in our web console, in reality, we have some statistics that I can go and access, right? And you never see this probably, but I can access like how quickly players reach that level of strength or that level of endurance, right? Or some of the skills, right? How fast the player is reaching that skill, considering the gaming time. Now, it's not perfect because you don't know exactly what the player is doing. But if you do it on relatively new players, right? Maybe they have like, I don't know, 20, 30, 50 hours, 100 hours of gameplay. I think you can really do it. Because if they have a skill that actually they try to max out or they try to push, you will see it in this list, right? So yeah, I think telemetry is very, very, very relevant. I agree. I think telemetry is very relevant. We have a bit, but I think we can do more, right? We actually have an economy manager that I think these days we don't have anymore. We can open the project, but I think I didn't import the economy manager yet. And the economy manager was used to log all the trades between players and NPC. So that whenever someone was selling or was buying, we were actually tracking it, right? And that would produce some summary. Yeah, you see, economy manager is not here. They will produce some summary reports with the statistics. I mean, we can introduce it again, but I mean, I can also try to play the game myself, but I think that playing the game yourself, you know, is not really, it doesn't scale, right? Because yes, I can play the game myself and I can time all the actions that I do, and I can say, oh, how much does it take me to reach 1,000 tria or 10,000 tria or 1 million tria? But is one path, right? It's not the path of every player, right? So I mean, it's not. You cannot consider all the path. While if you are looking at statistics in the database for hundreds of players, right, that's way better, right? So I think telemetry. I think I agree. Telemetry is insanely powerful. To develop it though is not that easy. Academic industry work recommends combining value-informed pricing, so player perceived value, with objective measure like expected acquisition time and resource cost to set the prices. A practical evaluation framework that you can implement now. Below is a pragmatic formula and step-by-step process you can use to compute a starting game value for every item. It uses the expected time and probability as a primary input, but adds other essential factor. Okay. So T is expected player time to obtain 1 unit of the item in hours. Exactly. If item drops from an activity with chance P per item and average time is activity hours, then T is T divided by P. Chance per attempt, right? Time in hours. Okay, so you say, yeah, because you're just dividing. Yeah, you're saying, oh, this, like for example, a drop, right? For example, a drop from a loot, from looting a monster, right? You can say, oh, this drop happens 20% of the time, right? And to kill the monster, it takes you 20 seconds, right? Now the problem is, how the hell do you scale it with player skill, right? So because do we take the average player at mid rank? Do we take the new player? Do we take the veteran player? I mean, this is something that I don't understand how to do, right? W is the designer baseline per hour value, currency unit hour. So how much in-game currency the average player is expected to earn per hour from routine play. Set per player type progression tier. Yeah, I think this unit is an important unit, right? Because you have to start from there. You have to start to say, oh, my player, I want my economy to work so that my player can get 1,000 tria per hour, right? And then you basically work all the system from that base value, right? Production crafting cost in resources converted to currency via resource sell value, resource production time multiplied by W. Utility multiplier representing the relative usefulness and power. Default at 1, best set by category, cosmetic, convenience, strong combat item, tuned per game. So they suggested to basically have like 4 tiers or something like that, right? 3-4 tiers of items to calculate the price. Scarcity multiplier. Okay, luckily this one we don't have, right? So there are many games, and I think they're super annoying, that are like forcing you through some tokens. For example, you have a loot dungeon, right? And you cannot access the loot dungeon more than 5 times a week, right? And the way they do it is that they give you tokens that you can obtain through other activities, and those tokens are limited because those other activities happen only X amount of times per week. Right? And so at the end, they create a mechanism that is like gouging, I don't know what to say. It is like with a threshold, right? So that you cannot get more than 5 per week. But that I think is super duper annoying to me. I mean, I would never want that in my game, right? Because I understand the logic, because they don't want you to finish the game too early, right? So they don't want you to burn the game, right? Quickly enough, too quickly, and so yeah. But okay, let me just do a bit of a pause here. I wanted to tell you that I started a raffle. So I 3D printed a plane shift character that you can see here, and now I took very good pictures of it, so you have a good sense of how it looks, right? So there is an Enki male. He has actually 5, well, let's say 6 with the armor, but 5 items on him. So he has a sword at the back, he has a sword in his hand, he has 2 pouches, 1 per side, and he has a shield. Plus he has this armor on top, which is a plate mail armor, right? And there is the side view. There is the back view. Yeah, there is a bit of unclean. There are still some supports for the 3D printing left there. And there is the other side view, right? I think it came out pretty well. There are a few problems. One problem is the position of the sword compared to the hand, right? That is because the hand was not rotated in the proper direction compared to when you actually wield the sword, right? And yeah, this dice is just for comparison, right? For size comparison. There is about 7.5 centimeters vertically, which I think is a very good size. I have this character on my desk right now, and I'm looking at it, and I think it's very nice. I really like it. The other problem, if you see here, is a bit of the shield, right? The shield has some issues, is a bit eroded, right? But it is eroded because this was a zero thickness edge on the 3D model, and the 0 thickness edge doesn't print out well, right? As you may imagine. In fact, for the sword, I had to the first sword was just disintegrating when printed, and I had to change it with some special borders, right? Well, I added the thickness of about I think 0.5 millimeter, and with that thickness it worked, right? So I can do the same with the shield. Now this requires a bit of work, but I think it's anyway cool and fine, so I can do it even if I spend, you know, few hours on it. I think I want to do it. I know it's a bit crazy, but I want to do it anyway. So basically there is a raffle that started now, started today, and the rules of the raffle are the following. Let me give you the information. The rules of the raffle are the following. I posted it on Discord anyway, but I posted only on the Patreon's channel. So if you are not a Patreon, you didn't see the message, right? So let me print it here so that you see what I meant. So if you want to participate to the raffle of these characters, you have to do the following. First, you need to be a Patreon, any tier, right? So even the $3 tier is fine. You have to be a Patreon, any tier. You need to have a character in your Playing Shift account with at least 50 hours of gameplay, right? And I would say there should be real gameplay, okay? So if you just open the client, leave it there for 3 days, and then submit the thing, you will not be selected. You will be disqualified, okay? So it should be really someone that plays the game, right? Third, you will have to send me a private direct message on Discord with the name of the character in your account you want to 3D print. So I will not just print a random one. I will print your character. Okay, I will print your character. So for example, for me, I could print this character, right? But for you, it will be your character. So you will give me the name, right? So you will say, oh yes, my character is named Hula, and or Hula Jump, and I want it 3D printed, right? What I need you to do, I need you to equip the armor, the items that you want, right? Including the visual items. So if you want, for example, this, I don't know, this axe to be on your back, right? You will have to equip it, right? You will have to equip it like this, right? You will have to equip it like this so that it shows, right? And then you will have to send me the picture, actually a picture front and back if possible. Yeah, let me maybe add that to the message. You need to send me a picture front and back. Yeah, front and back. Let me add it also to the Patreon description. Because if I don't have the back, it's very hard to understand what you have on the back, right? So maybe anything. So front. A picture front and back. Yeah. Okay. So you have to send me a picture front and back, right, of your character. And then yeah, and that's it. And that's it. You can submit it right now. So if you message me on Discord and you do these 3 things, right? And you have these requirements, let's say. So to be a Patreon, to have the character in your Planeshift account with 50 hours and such, you can send it to me. Just a note, right? I will ship you the 3D printed model, right? So I will need to know your address. The address can be a PO box, can be an anonymous PO box, but consider that most of us don't have it. So you will have to send me your address somehow. So if that bothers you, I mean, you obviously cannot participate because I will need to ship it somewhere, right? I will need to ship it to you somewhere. So you have to. How many you already done? I only did this one. I only did this one, and this one was a test to understand if I liked the result, if I like the sides, if I like the detail, also to understand if it was possible for me and how much time it would take me to actually adapt this model, because I had to adapt this model, right? So this model is different than the one that you have in game from a technical point of view. From a visual point of view is identical, but I had to do some manipulation to actually make it work for 3D printing, right? And yes, and so for the people that I raffle, and I will raffle them myself, right? So it will be completely free of charge to you. So I will send you this thing for free, okay? For free. I will obviously select only a few people. I mean, I cannot spend, hundreds of euro on this, but still, I would like to do it. I think I would like to reward the people that have played a lot of our game, the people that have, that have been supporters of our game, and so I think it's a nice thing to do. And I want to see the response, right, on your side. If some of you wants to do it, or if no one wants to do it, maybe no one is interested. I don't know. I would be interested if it was me playing a game, obviously. I would be very interested, but I don't know. Maybe you guys don't care, right? Maybe you don't want to have your character 3D printed. The only problem that I have is the relative size, because this one is 7.5 centimeters, which I think is a kind of a good size. But if I do a cran, right, in theory I should do it way bigger. But doing it way bigger has some implications on the type of print and the size of the printer. And so I think I will probably make the cran pretty much the same size, right? But which is good and bad. It's good for printing, but it's bad because if you want to have two characters, which at the moment is not allowed, but maybe in the future you will have two characters printed. One next to the other may not fit the sides, right? May not be the same scale, what I'm saying. They may not be the same scale. So I don't know. Well, I think it's very nice. I have it here next to me on my table and it's very nice to see. I really like it. It is simple because our models are simple, right? They are. Maybe in the future we will have belts, we will have more decorations, right? Yeah, you may have jewels. In this one I didn't put a jewel on the... I didn't put a jewel on the ear, but in theory you can have jewels, obviously. Yes, you can. Okay, anyway. I wanted to do this announcement, so if you want, just message me on Discord, and if you have those requirements and you want to we want to participate into the raffle, right? I will do this. Okay, so the scarcity multiplier, as I said, is not really something that we have. Give me a second that I take something to drink, because my throat starts to ache. Did I wash my teeth already? Yeah, I did. I mean, and then you can paint it, right? So this one is obviously unpainted, but you can then prime it and try to paint it, which I think is a fun activity, and would be nice to see your painted thingies. Okay, so Ula, if you want your character 3D printed, if you want to participate to the raffle, think about it, but you need to be a Patreon. You need to be a Patreon for you know, for fairness with all the other Patreons, but you can become a Patreon anytime if you want, right? Easy. So scarcity multiplier is not something that we have, and I think I don't want to have it. RNG, frustration variance, premium, small extra premium, for item acquisition, large value probability, one-shot mechanic. I think this one we don't have as well, and I don't want it. Fee or tax factor to create sinks. If you want vendor buyback crafting, less fee to remove gain economy. I think this one probably also we don't want, right? So T by W is the opportunity cost in player time. What do you mean opportunity? If it takes player X hours to reasonably expect to obtain the item, the price is anchored to that lost spend time. Add CP to account for real resource cost, or convert resource gathering time into currency and add it to T if simpler. Yes, I would like to add resource gathering time into currency, yes, and add it, yeah, I have to do that. So where T we said that is the expected hours divided by the chance per attempt, right? Yeah, I agree. So it is per hour, because this is per hour and this is per hour, right? Apply U and S to fall the usefulness and intentional scarcity. I don't think I want the S. I don't want the R. I don't want the F. I mean, the U, I think we need it though. The U, I think we need it. Hello, Javi. Why finally is coming? Thanks. What are you referring to, Javi? The raffle or the value of everything? Example item. The value of everything. Yeah. Did you see the raffle in Discord? Ancient lens. Using ITIR's telescope. Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to reason on it, right? Are you a Patreon, Javi? I don't remember if you are a Patreon. I don't remember if you are a Patreon, actually. So you may not be able to see it, basically. Not a Patreon, just a sub on Twitch. I understand. I can change the rule, maybe. I can say that you have to be a Patreon or a Twitch sub, which is pretty much the same to me. Well, it's not the same, but no, the problem is that it's published only to Patreons. I don't know if I can do it with Twitch subs. But basically what I just explained it, maybe you joined late, but basically I want to raffle some 3D printed plane shift models. But the good part of it is that it's not just a model that I already have, but I will 3D print your character, your in-game character. So you can keep it as you want, send me the name of the character, and I will 3D print it and send it to you. In a raffle though. So I will do just a limited number and I will raffle the winners, right? And I will do that only for the winners. So to me is a way to you know say thank you, you know, to the people that are playing the game and are supporting the game, and obviously it will cost me more than what you give, right, on Patreon, because just the print of this is about this one I paid 18 euros at the end, because I had to redo a piece of it because it was not working well, so I had to print it again. And plus the shipping, I mean, if it's worldwide, depending where is it, but if it's in the US, can be at least another 15 euro. And plus, yeah, the shipping is on me, but I think that thanks to Trump, there may be some tariffs applied when he arrives. So unfortunately that I have to check before sending it. So if it's outside of Europe, maybe I have to, I mean, the person receiving it will have to accept that he will have to pay like, I don't know, $2, $3 or $1, whatever it is for the Trump tariffs, right? That I don't know if I can absorb on my side just because I don't know how to pay for it, right? But yeah, I think it would be very cool to have your 3D character there and maybe one time. I mean, if you want to participate, Javi, 1 month you can avoid the Twitch sub and you can do the Patreon, right? And is any tier, right? Is Patreon any tier, even the $3 one? So. There is also quite some work I have to do to adapt the model to the 3D printing. So I think it will take me about 2 hours per model, but it's fine. Again, I do it as a goodie, as a gift, you know, to the people that are supporting us and they are playing our game. So I don't do it obviously to make money because I'm losing money with this. But I do it just because I like it, right? So it's just because it's nice. Yeah, so these are the rules. If you want to can you take a screenshot of this? Take a screenshot of this. And these are the rules that you find in Patreon and the rules that you find in the supporters channel that only Patreons can see, right? Take a screenshot of this or just go back to the stream later and look at it, but this is explained how it works. Yeah, there is the $3 tier, which is pretty low, right? But anyway, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. I mean, for me, it's not to get the money. For me, it's just to have a way to select the people, right? So for me, it's a way to select people that are interested in the game and are supporting the game. I mean, I also thought to do it differently, right? I thought to say, okay, everyone that has more than 7,000 hours in the game, right? There are like 20 people that have more than 7,000, 6,000 hours in the game, right? There could also have been a way, right? I could have done it that way, but I don't know if it was really fair to the new people or to people that are supporting us maybe, but are not playing that much. So I decided to just raffle and let's see, maybe I will just influence the raffle, right? So if I see people that are really not playing, I mean, it's a raffle, but I can have any rules in it, okay? So I will decide at the end, right? I will decide at the end who gets it pretty much. So consider it this way. Consider it this way. But if I have like 5 people that are all pretty much, you know, long-time players, supporters, I will raffle between them. But if I have a guy that just show up one time and then played a very, very little and whatever, maybe that will have lower chances. Yeah, maybe I should do a multiplier. I can do a multiplier in the raffle by some parameters, but I don't know, I have to think about it. For now, I just want to have the submission. So who wants it, right? Who wants it can send it to me and then I will think about it. Okay, so there was an example, ancient lens using high-tier telescope. Okay, drop. From a 15 minutes elite encounter with 2% drop. So 0.25 hours, P is 0.02, yes. So 12.5 hours expected. Holy shit, it is a hard one. 12 hours expected to get the freaking ancient lens. Oh my god. But anyway. Choose W equal to 200 gold per hour. Sorry, W was what? W was the hour value per hour that we decide in currency. Yes. Okay, 200 may not be too bad. So T by W will be 2,500 gold. and CP is the material. CP is the real resource cost, or convert gathering time into currency. Well, that is a bit redundant though, because the CP. I mean, we already have the time here. Why we have to calculate it twice? I don't understand too much. Why we have to calculate? You are saying if there are additional resources needed to have the final item? I don't understand. Utility importance, okay, and then this one we just skip, right? So starting price will be 4,816 gold. You then have to compare to this to the marketplace value, adjust. Implementation steps, practical iterative, define anchor, peak baseline W progression bracket, anchor made many times. Don't use only time. If an item is highly useful but is easy to acquire, privacy only by time and the values. Yeah, no, that I understand. That is to me absolutely understood. Beware inflation. Items that create many high value resources must have sinks, repair, consumable, taxes. Some players grind efficiently. And so empirical PNT must be gathered for many players to avoid bias. Player-driven economies. I want to full player-driven markets. Initial anchor by respect emergent behavior. Monitor to be ready. Yeah, supply KPI. That is very, very, very understood. I mean, I get it. I get it. We can yeah, like for example, he's saying average time to obtain the item in hours, right? It should be measured and not designed. I understand and I agree. Item supply grow rate, unit per day, currency inflation rate, trade volume, player churn correlated to perceiving grind time. Value informed pricing of virtual digital products. Balancing your game economy, lesson learned, another GDC post, practical exception, guide running economy and telemetry. Empirical study showing playtime, item pricing. EVE Online, monthly report, and economic white paper, for example, of live plane driven economy. The development of a price control mechanism for an MMO. Produce a simple telemetry. No, but I think this gives me good input, right? So yeah, one thing that I don't understand is this CP, right? Let me ask it a second. So in the example you made on ancient lens, right? I don't understand what CP is, right? As we already have the time in the t variable. So I don't understand what CP is actually. Represent the production of material costs that are in addition to the player time to obtain the item. If it applies items to obtain a period. Okay, that's fine. So for example, if an item must be crafted, processed, or purchased from NPC using other resources, then the input resources have their own value. Yeah, I would prefer to do 2 formulas then, you know, so to have a formula with the yeah, we really need to. I think 1 formula only is stupid, right? I mean, you can have a single formula, but I think it's much easier if you go through crafting. Yeah, exactly. Saying if it's a direct drop, then you have CP0. Instead, if the player must collect fragments and craft it, right, then that is the cost. Okay, I understand. It's fine. So this is just for additional, additional. It's just the additional. Yeah, so I kind of like the approach. I kind of like the approach. I think we go up to here, though. I don't think we. Well, we can also avoid saying it's ChatGPT. I mean, it's fine. So T expected what? He fucked up a bit the formatting here. T expected player time in hours if it T why so stupid? P per attempt. Huh? P per attempt, average attempt time, T hours, then T. It seems that he's repeating every time. He's repeating every time he has a special character. Yeah, is repeating every time there is a special character for whatever reason. This W is pretty good, so is the, we can say for example 200 per hour, right? So I think it's fine. Yeah, the CP, I have to think a bit about it, but fine. Now, yeah, I'm not really sure about this. Not really sure about this. These 3 variables, like the scarcity multiplier. So only if you have a limited supply, right? Limited supply. So you say, do we have any limited supply in our game? I don't think so. I think you can. I think you can, but now Javi, now that you told me that, I think I should do just an announcement, right? I think I put it under supporters, but I think it may be a good idea if I just do a global announcement, so that everyone knows it, and they may become Patreons just because they want it, right? I think now that you told me like you are a subscriber, but you cannot rate, so I think it's a good idea. So I will post it. I will post it also in. I will post it also in general announcement. I will post it in general announcement. I did it. So now you have it. Now you have it in Discord for everyone. Which anyway, I think is a good thing. Yeah. I will, okay, so the scarcity multiplier is basically to say there is something that is limited in drops. Well, so for example, we have trees, right, or plants that are respawning in certain locations. And, but it's a never-ending cycle, right? So they spawn continuously anyway, so I think that the formula, well, if you say time to obtain it divided by chance, right? I think it's good enough already. Now the problem is that in this formula you don't consider the skill in any way, right? Because there is actually a skill that is influencing the time. And this is where I don't know how to put it in this formula, right? So I can say that I'm not interested in S, R, or F. I'm not interested in S, R, or F. I'm not interested, so I would keep that out of the formula. But I have to consider so I would keep that out of the formula, but I have to consider, but I don't know how to consider. Don't know how to consider the well, we have two things. We have the quality of the item, which is affected by your skill, and then we have the time, which is also affected by the skill, right? So I don't know how to consider the influence of the player's skill. But I don't know how to consider the influence of the player's skill and the player's skill as. So for example, right? For example, if the player has way higher combat skill, it will kill the monster, right? Monster way faster. and so the time the time to obtain it is lower, right? And so the time to obtain, right? And so the time to obtain maybe significantly lower, or no, I mean so another example, I mean, it is only for looting. I mean, it's only for monsters that you have the skill, or is also for no, it's the same. For example, if you consider a locked chest, right? You are in a dungeon, you have a locked chest, and you need to unlock it to get the loot, right? And if you have a very high skill in lockpicking, then your time to obtain the chest content is, I don't know, 1 minute, right? If you have like a very low skill, is 10 minutes, or never, or even never, because maybe you cannot even get it, right? So so I don't know if we should factor it in, or if we should just take an average and should take an average of all the players and say that is the value. But I think it may. Let me see what ChatGPT says. It's reading the web, which is nice. So is applying skill to everything now? Now the CP, no, it's applying it only to T. It's applying only to time. So the percent, well, the P will not change based on skill, I would say. It's the TA that is changing on skill, right? Because the P is the percentage of drop. So if I say, oh, this item is dropping 20%, it's still 20%. It's just the time that it takes to kill the monster that is influenced by the skill, right? Let me just ask something to ChatGPT. Can you do a raffle in Patreon based on the current lows, or is considered gambling? I just had this idea. The short answer is maybe, but with very strict limit, compliance and risk. It depends heavily on your country laws, your structure, and whether the pen allows you in your jurisdiction. This is a breakdown of the issue. You might do something as a raffle, legally or most safely, and why is tricky. What Patreon rules say? Patreon explicitly prohibits creators from offering gamble type rewards, raffle, lotteries, etc. as part of the pay tiers. Fuck. So it's actually prohibited, my boys. I just had this idea now, and in fact it is. Under the commerce guideline, prohibited program benefits that the creator may not use Patreon access, provide or facilitate gambling for money or an exchange of value, including raffles in sweepstakes. So how can I do it? They allow giveaways. It's a giveaway. I mean, I can call it giveaway. But only if they comply with all the laws and are open to all fans on and off Patreon. You cannot restrict the entry only to paying Patreons. Fuck! So even before legally with really low Patreon always is very raffled in many contexts, especially where the Patreon can enter only when the entry is tied to payment, it would be a risky violation of the term which could lead to a creator account being flagged or punished. Assuming you're operating Italy or EU, you must consider national and UL laws, gambling promotion size. But I'm not giving money out, I'm giving a model out. Oh shit, it cannot be done, guys. Oh shit! I cannot do it. I will not call it a raffle, I will call it a choice. I choose whoever gets it, and it's my decision. I will remove the word raffle from this thing. I would like to give away. Let's call it giveaway. I would like to give away, yeah, because otherwise it's considered gambling, you understand? That's the problem. So the selection criteria is not random, it's up to me. Does that make it better or not? Okay, I change everything to giveaway. So that it's not a raffle, but pretty much. I think they may not like it anyway. They may not like it, because if it becomes gambling, I understand the problem, right? I will call it giveaway. I mean, the problem is... No, I understand the problem, because... I mean, or I do it free, or I do it for everyone, but still I want to select the people, right? No, I understand the problem, guys. I understand the problem. The problem is that this may be seen as a gambling, right? So because I'm asking you money in a certain way to then give you a prize and you don't know if you will get it, right? I think I have to do it the other way then. So I have to select, I just have to select some people myself based on whatever judgment. So regardless of if he's a Patreon or he's not a Patreon. Okay, I will open it up to everyone. I will still just select the people. Let's do it this way. So it's not linked to the money. Okay, let's do it this way, because I think otherwise is not complying to laws. I see. So let me change the rule. So I just had this idea, and in fact it is a problem. Let me change the rules. So the rules are, you need to have a character in your Planeshift account with at least, I don't know, 500 hours, 200 hours, 200 hours. 200 hours of gameplay. So it's open to everyone. Okay, fine. I changed it. I changed it. I realize I have to change it due to gambling rules and laws. I will update the post now. As it is now, it's considered gambling and it's not allowed. Yeah. I will change it. I will change it. Okay, so let me change it, guys, because it's so we change raffle to giveaway, and we remove the Patreon tier. It's fine with me. I was doing it for fun, you know, not for money. So we say 200 hours of gameplay. Okay. Okay. It's good that I thought about it, because actually so about the announcement in announcements, I after a check, I changed it not to include any form of payment like Patreon. Otherwise is considered a gambling activity and is forbidden in many countries, and also on Patreon itself. So now it's open to everyone with 200 hours of gameplay. Yeah, I think it's a better thing. Actually, I think I like it more this way, because I really didn't do it to have more Patreons. So that was not my. It was just to, you know, to. But anyway, to say, hey, dear Patreons, we love you, but. But it's fine. We can do it. We can say, dear players, we love you, right? It's the same. It's not exactly the same, but it's the same. My bad. My bad. I didn't think about it. I didn't think about it. Well, actually, I thought about it. It took me like 1 hour to realize it, but yeah. Yeah. Okay, we changed it, boys. So Javi, I don't know if you are still here, but consider that you can do it also if you are not a Patreon now, because I had to change. I changed it. So I don't know if you're still here, but in case. Now we may say who cares, right? But I think it's good to comply with the law. I mean, so. Yeah, so the conclusion of the AI is that no, you cannot run a raffle unless you do, you know, a bunch of other stuff. Yeah. So the safer route is to run a contest giveaway that doesn't restrict entry to paying patrons. Yeah. 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 I think like this is fine. Like there is no form of payment to participate, and so it's perfectly fine. Okay, good. That's great news. Yeah, so you had two great news in the same evening, right? One, that there was a raffle of some kind, and now that the raffle is open to everyone. I mean, yeah, I'm doing just to give you some models, guys, and just because I like, you know, just because I think it's a cute idea. I do it just for that. I don't do it because I want to motivate you to be a patron or what. I just want to give something to the supporters, to the people that are you know, playing our game and supporting us. And I think because it's cool. We may do it in another way, like I may sell the model to you, right? Sell a single model to you, but I think that the cost would be so high that it would not make any sense. Even if I do it at cost, it will still take time from my side to actually convert the model to a 3D printed model. So will be like very hard. But maybe we will do it anyway, right? If really a lot of people are interested, maybe maybe I will do it just for the top tier players or something like that. I don't know. We can do it. I want to do a few at least. I think is nice in my mind if some of you have a physical plane shift character on your desk. That would be so cool, right? Like I have now. I have that one on my desk, and it's very nice to see. It's very cool to see. I'm picking it up now in my hand, and it's kind of cool. Something virtual becomes real, you know. It's very nice. Okay, so let's go back to this thing. Let's go back to this thing, trying to understand what this guy is saying. Oh my god, he created like a book. Core idea short, keep the same level I formula, but make the expected time depend on the player skill. Yeah, but depend on the player skill in which formula? I mean, we just scale it like we have a skill. So we know what is the skill, we just scale it brutally from 0 to 200 and that's it? Or how skill can change the input? So skill typically adds two things, the attempt time and the success probability. No, in our case it's not. No, it doesn't. So in our case, skill can only affect the time, not the probability, right? Yeah, because It doesn't make sense. I mean, you are highly skilled, and so the monster drops more. No, I mean, well, actually, in fishing we had that, right? So we had that you would, yeah, that it would drop more if you fish with a higher skill, right? But base attempt time, fixed drop probability, baseline currency hour, CP production material cost, 0 for pure drops, okay. Skill affects only TA. Recommended TA skill curve diminishing returns. Recommended square root diminishing return curve to avoid extreme discount for high skill players. What do you mean by discounts? I mean, there is the I think here is messing up a bit, but anyway. So example, right? Example is 0.25 hours, so 15 minutes per drop, which is 2%. Which is 2% is super low anyway. I mean, we have 20% usually in our, but anyway, 2% drop, right? So 15, so it's super long and super rare. I mean, this is like the ultimate item of the universe that is making you win the game. But okay, so 15 minutes, 2%. The W is 200 gold per hour, which is our baseline of how much you should gain every hour. The CP, I don't know why it's putting a CP again. Okay, anyway, it's 300 gold. In our case would be 0. And this K, right? And this K is 0.05, which is the sensitivity constant. And the skill level are 0.25, 50, 75, 100. Okay. So at skill, what is this? At skill 0, yeah, at skill 0, it will be 2,800 gold. No, but my problem is not to say how much it cost. I mean, I cannot change the cost. What? No, sorry, I kind of lost my train of thoughts here. Like, so I mean, obviously the skill is influencing the time you get the stuff, but I cannot change the final. I mean, I only need one price at the end. So my question is, what do we do, right? I cannot really change this in game based on your skill. So my question would just, why? No, I think this. I think it is going the wrong direction. I mean, I asked the question about skill because it's influencing the time, but at the end, right? I cannot really have different prices for the same item. So Ancient Lens will have one price in the game. right? So what's the point? What's the point of calculating different prices, right? So I think here we fucked up a bit. So we started one way. We started one way and we went to the opposite, but now the AI went crazy. Yeah, the game needs a single public price for Ancient Lands, exactly. The reason we computed price per skill earlier was diagnostic. It helps you choose which single price to publish. Yeah, but my question is... I mean, is to choose a fair anchor point? I don't know. I think it's much... I understand this, but I think it's much simpler to say... oh, the average player with we have the skills between 0 and 200, right? We can say, oh, the average player with skill 100, which is exactly the middle, takes that amount of time. And so we will base the price based on that. And so it means that for the newer players, it will be a bit lower, and for the hour, it will be a bit harder, and for the... right? And that's it. And that's it, without doing all this shit. We assume an activity distribution. Oh wow. Here is going into another nice concept. He's saying, oh, by the way, higher level players are farming less. I don't know. And low level skill players are farming more. I don't know. I don't know if it's a great idea. Activity weighted average, I think, is a very bad idea. Yeah, use the median if you want. Exactly, use the median. I think use the median is the perfect solution. He's saying, my recommendation, start with the activity weighted average, anchor it to active player, run to a clean number, and monitor the market for 1-2 weeks. If you see price pressure. I don't know if I will see price pressure. But anyway. I mean, I think that this idea is not a bad idea, but I think it, I mean, is an interesting idea, but I think at the end is really fucked up. I mean, I think you cannot make those numbers right. You don't know how much at a different skill level the people are really farming, right? I mean, depends on so many things. So, but it's a good reasoning. I like the reasoning, right? I like this reasoning that is saying there may be a distribution, right? There may be a distribution. Now there is another parameter, which is quality. Quality affects the price, right? And we don't have this in our formulas. So I think in this we say expected player time to view in 900 hours, considering the average skill, right? So example 100 out of 200 max, right? So if we consider the average skill, I think we are good. I think we are good. Utility multiplier. So let's say that I just choose the median point, meaning if my skill is 0 to 200, I will put T. I will set my T value as the time needed for a player with 100 skill to obtain the item. Now, one problem I have is that item may be very far away, right? And I don't know if I need to consider this in our formula, meaning that if this is our world and you are starting here and you have many cities around, right? If one resource is here, right? Or one resource is here, I think it makes a lot of difference, right? Because basically to get this resource, you will have to travel 1,000,000 miles. Now, it's true that when you are there, you can just farm it continuously. So I guess the question is the time, is the distance of the resource from the main cities a factor or not? This I don't know actually. The time the player takes to reach the farming spot, right? Right? The time the player takes to reach the farming spot. Yes, you should absolutely include the travel time. I don't know. Model travel as per trip overhead and harmonize it across the number of farming attempt player typically do per trip. Use the effect. Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, in this way, yes, because you can say, you know, people usually go there and farm 20 times. That's the average, and so I consider the travel time part of it. Yeah, I think it's a good answer, actually. So if it's very far, we should anyway add something, right? We should add something. So round trip per travel 30 minutes. Oh my god, this guy is selecting numbers that are immense, right? So if it takes you 30 minutes to go to the farming spot, I think we have a problem with other travel means, right? But average attempt of trip per time only 10. So you travel 30 minutes and then you farm only 10. Holy shit. I don't think so. But anyway. So compare it to the non-travel case. Without travel, was 1966 and it is 2467, whatever. No, I understand. I think it's not a bad idea to at least have it in the formula. Then if we really use it, I don't know, but I think is a decent idea. It's already midnight, boys. Oh my god. It's already midnight. But anyway, I think it was a good I think anyway I want to add this. I want to add this to our formula. So I want to say that our TA, right, this TA thingy, this TA divided by P becomes TA plus the trip time divided by the number of attempts, right? Which I think it makes sense. So it will actually be TA plus travel time divided by attempts divided by P, right? Everything divided by P. Everything divided by P. Yes. Where travel is travel time in hours from the closest city. I think we should consider the closest city. I don't think we should consider the... Do you think we should consider Idla all the time? Maybe yes. Maybe we should consider Idla all the time. So if it's something in the bronze doors, right? I mean, it's true that you can live in the bronze doors, but I think very few people will do it, right? So very few people will live in the bronze door their whole life. So they will always come back to the main city for quest, for merchants, for other stuff. And so if they have to go there and take the... But you can say they can just take a pterosaur and fly and reach that place. So with whatever money... I don't know if I want to convert it with time. Well, anyway, I can still... I mean, time at the end is money, so I can convert it to... Baram, bam, baram, baram, bam. Okay, guys, I think this is a good thing. So I think this will be our formula at the end, right? So our formula will be Our formula at the end, it will be... Sorry, something crossed my mind and I was thinking something else. At the end, our formula will be this, right? Will be a simple. Where is the utility multiplier gone, though? Huh? We forgot the utility multiplier, my nice AI. Yes, we did. But it's the same, we can take it from before. It was just multiplied by, I guess. He forgot it, but it's okay. What is it? What the hell is that? Wow, we discussed a lot. It was at the beginning. Yeah, just multiply by u. So the sum of this multiplied by, right, u. The sum of this multiplied by u. Okay, so this will be the final price, right? Final price. Well, base price. Yeah, price. So I think there is a decent formula. Obviously, this is just the beginning of the beginning, right? Because then we have to say, oh, how do we calculate the expected player time? I mean, I think the designer baseline on the hour per value, I think we can really say 200 or whatever, 200 or 100. So I think that's easy. The W is easy. The CP is hard. The U is easy because anyway we can scale it based on the power of the weapon, so I think it's fine. The hard part is the T, right? Is the time. So to understand how much time does it take you to get a Glaboria flower, right? How much time does it take you to loot a weapon with 3 multipliers? Right? How much time it takes you to craft a final item in cooking, right? So I mean, some stuff we can derive from the formulas, but yeah. But anyway, it was a good reasoning. I think this at least gave me a basic understanding of, and this gave me a basic understanding of what we may do. I don't think tomorrow we will work on this, but I wanted to have just to start the reasoning, right? I wanted to start the discussion and see also if you guys had any inputs. Okay, guys, I think that's all for today. I will see you tomorrow evening. I may have a bit of a problem, but hopefully not. Hopefully not. Okay, so I will tell you in case. But I think it should be fine because it's 9:30 and I think at 9:30 I can do it. So again, thank you for watching and for being here with me, and it's always nice to see people interested in the game and in what I'm doing, so thank you for that. And I will see you tomorrow. Meanwhile, if you want to drop a follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube, that's always a good idea, and also it's free. And if you want to connect on any of our socials, they are here on our main page. And remember that our game can be played on Windows, Linux and Mac. You can download it and play it right now. Bye bye. Bye. See you.